Three Body Problem is available for streaming next week. Again, March 21st, only on Netflix, which we're thrilled that you can get right here on the Roku portal. Back here on the Rich Eisen Show, but don't let me tell you that we're back here on the Rich Eisen Show radio. Go ahead and hit it, Mike.
Welcome back to the Rich Eisen Show.
That's the dulcet tones.
Oh, that was me.
That's you. Back here on the Rich Eisen Show, the great Liam Cunningham right back here on the program on Three Body Problem, which is, again, available starting next week for streaming on Netflix. Good to see you again.
You too, sir. Pleasure.
Yeah, you did that for us last time you were here.
That's right. I've completely forgotten, when I was here for the...
Yeah, we got free extra work out of you.
You did, yes. I forgot to invoice you.
We play that often, as a matter of fact, so...
Oh, that's rather cool.
Yeah, it is.
I still have my touch with the show.
Come on. It's really cool for us to have you back here. And we just saw a clip again of this show, which is... created by David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, right? The longtime EPs and showrunners of Game of Thrones.
I know, yeah.
And so when they call you up and say, we got another idea, you're like, okay, right? Pretty much?
Well, I wish I was that professional at the time.
Okay.
What actually happened was I was in discussions to do another big show.
Yes.
And they were reasonably advanced. I hadn't said yes, because I wouldn't do that to anybody.
Sure.
And I got a call from DB and David, and they said, you're not going with them, you're coming with us. And I went... Okay. And I hung up. Literally, that's what I did. And then when I hung up, my professional brain kicked in and went, you don't even know what the part is. You haven't even seen the scripts. It could have been a week's work.
You had no idea?
No. That's the amount of faith I have in them. And then the scripts came along and I went, oh, thank God for that.
Yeah, because you have a significant role in this.
Oh, yeah. He's, you won't miss this guy. Yeah, and he's nothing like the character I played in Game of Thrones.
Well, this show's nothing like Game of Thrones.
100%. Although, you have to be... These guys are, as we say, buggered for punishment. When they did Game of Thrones, they took on what George R. R. Martin wrote was an unfilmable series of books. That's why he wrote them. He wanted to let his imagination run.
Right.
And they didn't make it easy for themselves. And then they went on to this thing which deals with quantum entanglement, theoretical physics, and a story that starts, as I say, in the mid-60s last century and goes until the end of time. So you couldn't exactly call them resting on their laurels.
But this is based on a trilogy as well, though, correct? Is
100%,
it not?
Yeah. A very successful trilogy of science fiction books. And a lot of people, it's strange, a lot of people go, well, science fiction is not my bag. It's not what they do. If you look at Game of Thrones, that was fantasy, and a lot of people, I was one of them, would have gone, fantasy, it's not really my
wife as well. Honestly, she's not into the fantasy, the Dungeons and Dragons, that sort of, if you will, world. And I started watching Game of Thrones first and sat her down. I'm like, this is, no. Like, this is, you have to see this. Yeah. So I totally get what you're saying on that front. And then, of course, we were locked in together as a couple, and then suddenly we're at dinner parties, and suddenly we're at watch parties and things of that nature. Yeah. And so I totally understand that. But so what is this about? If what you can explain to people?
Well, it's essentially the title comes in Three Body Problem. I'll try and be as quick as I can with this.
Take your time.
We have one body, the sun, and we go around the sun like this.
Yes.
A three-body problem is a theoretical physics anomaly that drives physicists mad.
Okay.
Three bodies, three suns. If you've got an Earth between three suns, it's impossible to predict the gravitational forces. And what we have on the show is a planet that is under that influence of the three-body problem, and are looking, without giving too much away, for a safe planet to, so their civilization can exist, and that's where we get into trouble.
And you get into what? The ability, you're trying to save the...
I'm saving the world, dude.
The world. Damn.
I'm in charge of saving the world. You're lucky on me. I even showed up here. I'm a busy man. A busy man.
And so where are the dragons in this?
There are no dragons. Well, they're up I think these ones are up in the sky, and they're much more trouble than just your big old dragon.
So again, this is a totally different ball of wax.
100%. 100% different.
But obviously, when you're in the hands of some brilliant television makers and producers and writers.
Yeah, don't forget Alexander Weir was in there as well, who's True Blood.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And so Liam Cunningham, the man known as Ser Davos from Game of Thrones, and now as Thomas Wade in Three Body Problem, available on Netflix, right here on Roku, here on The Rich Eisen Show. Some Game of Thrones fellow alums are in this as well. John Bradley, who plays Samuel Tarly.
Jack, who plays in this, and he's hilarious in this.
Okay.
And he's really good. Yeah, he's a guy who's was a brain box at Oxford University and decided to cash in his chips,
right,
and start selling Jack snacks. He moved his knowledge of chemistry and whatever to the entrepreneurial world.
Okay.
So you'll see he's got a very lovely lifestyle.
The High Sparrow himself, the brilliant Jonathan Pryce.
Incredible actor, man! What a resume that guy has, from Bond villains to Miss Saigon to this. He's one of those, like John Hurt. He's just one of those people that you just, quality arrives when he arrives.
No question about that. I'll give you one that's deep from his filmography. Ronan.
That's right.
Is a deep cut for him.
That's right.
He's brilliant in that as well. You know. So I
remember that. De Niro, wasn't it?
De Niro,
great car chase in that.
Yeah.
Natasha McElhone was in it as well.
Look at you.
She's gorgeous looking human being.
I'm with you. You and I are we're like that. So, what do you get the most from Game of Thrones fans when you see them, Liam?
It's fair. You know what? And I used to say this to the younger people on the set when we were inundated with people, everybody wanting a piece of you and all that, when it became the cultural phenomenon it was. And it can get tiresome. I'm sure you're well used to it. You know, you're trying to do your day's work and fans come up and all that sort of thing. It's great. What I used to say to them was, I said, if you worked in a bank and at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the evening, you were locking the door and you turned around and there's a group of people outside doing that.
Yeah.
That they applauded you for your day's work.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the best thing in the world, wouldn't it? And I suppose, I said, well, you're getting it now. Mm-hmm. So enjoy it, because it is going to disappear.
Right.
We do a day's work and people applaud us and put us on red carpets and sometimes raise too much money and all that. It's wonderful.
Did they give you any grief about your character's decision making, as if you did it personally? Anything like that happen?
100%. They are so taken in by the story that they want to know. And you have to remember, they invite you into their living room. So you've in a weird way, you've become a friend of theirs, and they're on a journey, and you've broken their hearts, you've made them laugh or whatever. So when they meet you, they're saying hello because they've had you in their house on many, many occasions. Plus but you've no idea who the hell they are.
Plus, you're one of the good guys.
Yes,
you're one of the good guys. Like you were not one of those.
This new character might shatter that delusion.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Okay.
I won't be able to dine out on this guy, I don't think.
Well, as long as the dining isn't a red wedding. Hey now, you like that one?
Yeah, very quick.
Well.
He's quick.
I appreciate that. Okay, fantastic. And I can't wait for everybody to see this. So Formula One is your sport.
That's my game.
That's your game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Madhouse this season.
Right.
Insane.
It's catching fire here in the United States. You know, like more than ever.
Drive to Survive will have had a big thing. Yeah, there's 3 races here. A few years ago, there wasn't any Formula One race. Now there's 3.
Why do you like it so much? What is it so great about it for you?
I do like the whole engine thing, the car thing, and the engineering and the design. Right. But also, they kind of do what we do. It's a circus. Mm-hmm. It hits town and with huge amounts of personnel and large planes arriving, and they're there for 4 or 5 days, and then they up sticks and go to another place, and they do that 23 times a year. Mm-hmm. So the circus thing is really interesting. And as well as that, I mean, if you take a step back, it's people with too much money playing with the largest train set on the planet. I mean, it is. That's what it is.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's what it is. So these guys that can make fortunes playing with a train set. Same as way I do. I make a reasonable living playing dress up. Yeah. It's wonderful.
Who's your favorite driver? Who you root for?
Oh, it's always going to be Kimi Räikkönen, I think, who's the next Ferrari Formula One champion and an extraordinary driver from Finland that the media love, because he hates the media and doesn't play the game or anything, and they kind of love it. He's always been ornery, I suppose the phrase over here, but an incredibly talented driver.
So why do
he's retired now?
Okay, so that's who's currently
the current one? Well, you can't deny Max Verstappen at the front. He won, I think, every race bar 2 last year, and he's already won 2 races of the 2 this year, in an extraordinary car that's designed by Adrian Newey. Fernando Alonso, who's driving for, he's in his 40s now. Right. And he's driving for Aston Martin, has come back and is hungrier than a lot of the kids that are on the track. He's got serious ambition.
Have you ever wanted to get behind the wheel of one of these?
I did get behind the wheel in the garage And then they threw me out of the car. But I did, at Monza in Italy, I did a two-seater. They have a two-seater Formula 1 car, and I was taken out in the back. I talked Kit Harington into getting into the car when we were doing Game of Thrones.
Yes.
He was very well behaved the previous night and went to bed with a burger and fries from room service. I didn't. I stayed out seeing some friends I have in Milan and stayed out till about 4. So we did 3 laps in the car, and when we got out of the car, Kit took his helmet off and his hair bounced into this beauty. And when I got out of the car, I was literally almost getting sick in my mouth because I was severely hungover. That's after 3 laps. These guys do 80 laps. And I was just a passenger.
But you wouldn't do it any differently, right? I mean,
in retrospect, it's a wonderful thing. Hindsight is great.
But you took Kit in it. So who was the one driving you around?
He was an ex-Formula 1. They all still race.
Sure.
Was it Baumgartner? I think it might have been a Dutch guy. I think. Yeah, but he was a proper F1 driver. Yeah.
We once upon a time, both of us, Chris and I, had Mario Andretti take us around the Grand Prix course in Long Beach here.
Oh my God!
And it was.
Do you know how lucky you were that he did that for you?
Oh yes, but I'll be straight up with you. I was just wondering how Mario was doing. What he did the night before, whether he had a hamburger and fries 100%. Or he might have taken it your approach.
Well, his son maybe coming into Formula 1 in 2 years' time.
There you go. I know.
With the Cadillac, I think, isn't it?
So Mario he was spot on. He was pitch perfect. Thank goodness. I couldn't believe how close these cars actually get.
It's extraordinary.
To the wall, to everything else. Yeah. And but it was great. Yeah. It's a lifetime memory, that's for sure.
This is how precise they are. There's a guy, he was one of the designers of Benetton, and he was the head of sporting when Senna was racing. Mm-hmm. And Senna, during qualifying, this is a true story, he hit the wall in the car because you were talking about how tight they get there. Yeah. And when he got out of the car, he'd said to the guy who was giving the interviews, Senna said to him, I wouldn't have hit that, they must have moved the wall, right? So the guy did that. Yeah. But he said, I went out with my tape measure just to make sure they had moved the wall. And that's the reason he hit them by half an inch. And he hit the wall because no one told him they'd moved the wall. That's how precise of a driver Senna was.
See, by the way, just hearing you say the word "the wall" just brings back so many great memories of Sunday night.
The links.
It's just a definitely different type of wall. No doubt about it. Congrats in advance of 3 Body Problem on Netflix, available on Roku. Is there any shot at all of the gang getting back together and doing more Game of Thrones any way, shape, or form on planet Earth? I know that there's another version of it right now, a prequel that's going on that has nothing to do with you 100%. Or anything else.
And I hear talk they haven't laid it to rest. And there was some talk of Kit Harington taking over. I don't know what's happened to that. It may be stuck in, what do they call it in Hollywood, development hell.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, so I don't know whether that's going to happen. I thought it was a great idea. Let's take it off exactly the moment he leaves, when we left Game of Thrones, and see where his life goes from there. Great concept, I think. And I did send a text when I heard about this Snow thing. Mm-hmm. I did send a text to Kit Harington saying, "Better call Davos."
Yes, yeah.
He never replied.
Come on, because in all seriousness, I mean, you're one of the few, spoiler alert, who got through unscathed.
I'm the only character in it that was in all 4 battles that were in the whole series. I'm the only character, and you never saw me. You saw me pulling out a sword. You never saw me killing anyone, and I was in the 4 battles. No wonder I lived. I never fought, but I was there.
That's all that matters.
Having a cappuccino on the side of the battlefield.
So it's possible, right?
Let's rule nothing out. As a friend of mine says, I won't consider that role until I read the check.
I like that. That's funny. Great to see you, Liam. Congrats again against 3 Body Problem, available for streaming next week, March 21st, only on Netflix. Make sure you are there for it, and great to have you anytime.
Thank you, sir.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.